I was content with my life, happily married into what many considered a wealthy and privileged family. Yet, as Mason and I sat in the hotel lobby, he sneered at what he called my simple lifestyle. His sharp voice sliced through my calm as he proudly boasted about his new wife, the daughter of the president of Goldsmith Enterprises. He laughed with self-satisfaction, but the company's name caught my attention. I knew it, though I couldn't immediately place it. When it finally clicked, I found myself suppressing a smile at the irony Mason was completely blind to. My name is Patricia, I'm 37, and I live a balanced life with my husband. I help manage my family's real estate business, focusing mostly on administrative duties, while my father, the company president, handles big-picture strategies. As his only child, I'm expected to inherit the role someday. Despite that looming responsibility, I've always tried to maintain peace between my personal and professional worlds, especially with Mason. Mason, who only completed high school, works hard at a moving company, a physically demanding job I genuinely respect. Out of consideration for his pride, I rarely spoke of my university degree or my future as the next president of the company. We first met in college through a mutual friend. Mason had initially been interested in her, but after she turned him down, we grew close. His laid-back nature balanced my meticulous personality, and after a brief courtship, we married in our late 20s. His parents embraced me warmly, which was refreshing compared to the in-law struggles my friends often faced. Though Mason's job left him exhausted and often home late, he remained devoted. Even on difficult days, he'd thank me for waiting to share dinner with him. I felt lucky to have such a caring husband. But about a year into our marriage, cracks began to appear. One night, as we were getting ready for bed, Mason abruptly brought up children. His voice carried irritation. I reassured him that I also wanted kids, but believed it would happen in time. Trying to keep things calm, I suggested we could both get tested if he was worried. His response shocked me. "What are you implying, that it's my fault?" "Usually, it's the woman's fault." His words dripped with contempt. It was the first time he had spoken to me like that. I hadn't accused him of anything, but he doubled down, insisting the problem must be mine. I was too shaken to argue. That night, we turned our backs on each other in silence, the air heavy with tension. From then on, Mason grew colder. His criticism became constant. When I came home late one evening after meeting with my father, Mason was furious that dinner wasn't ready. "Typical of a small boss's daughter," he muttered, ignorant of the fact that my father's company was a major real estate firm with hundreds of employees. His bitterness seeped into everything, and I found myself tiptoeing around him, even pouring him drinks just to keep the peace. Eventually, Mason demanded I undergo fertility testing, though he refused to participate himself. I agreed, determined to resolve whatever issue might exist. Sitting in the crowded clinic, I reminded myself I was ready to face whatever the results revealed. But when I told Mason, his reaction was cold and dismissive. "Figures. If the problem's with you, it's good you're getting tested." The years slipped by. At 37, with no children, I had thrown myself into work while Mason drifted further away. His late nights, drinking, and karaoke sessions became routine. Sometimes, he didn't come home at all. His behavior resembled that of a carefree bachelor, not a husband. Then one afternoon, Mason left the house on his day off but forgot his phone in the living room. I picked it up to put it away, only for it to start ringing. The caller ID showed the name Diana. Thinking she was a colleague, I answered. "Hey Mason, you're late. I've been waiting 50 minutes. Hurry up or we'll miss the park opening." "We haven't had a date in so long," a playful, flirtatious voice chirped through the line. My heart froze. This wasn't a colleague. Diana was someone Mason was seeing. Clutching Mason's phone in my hand, proof of his betrayal stared back at me. While I had been battling fears of infertility, he had been carelessly indulging in an affair. His coldness, his late nights, it all suddenly made sense. Shock mixed with rage, and the weight of his betrayal crushed me. Determined not to let this slide, I unlocked his phone with ease, his birthday as the code. Message after message with a woman named Diana flooded the screen, overflowing with pet names, kisses, and plans that twisted my stomach. I photographed everything, returned his phone to its place, and acted as though nothing had changed. For a month, I lived in silence, carrying the secret of his infidelity. Then, one evening, Mason casually suggested we separate. I had been preparing to confront him with divorce anyway, so his timing was strangely convenient. Yes, let's divorce, I agreed calmly. He seemed startled by my readiness but quickly recovered, his relief almost smug. He handed me the papers, and without hesitation, I signed. When he asked, "Are you sure about the mortgage?" I hid a small smile. Without me, he would struggle, his job was demanding but never paid enough. Still, that was no longer my concern. I moved back in with my parents. They were furious when they learned of Mason's infidelity, but their support made it easier to let go. I buried myself in work, slowly piecing myself back together. A year passed. My father, noticing my exhaustion, urged me to take a trip before the next business surge. Grateful, I escaped north, breathing in crisp air, welcoming kind strangers, and letting my spirit heal. Eventually, I booked a stay at a renowned Los Angeles hotel, determined to indulge myself for once. Sipping a welcome drink in the elegant lobby, I finally felt peace, until a familiar voice shattered it. "Hey, what are you doing here?" I turned and froze. Mason stood at the entrance, dragging 2 heavy suitcases. On his arm clung a young woman, Diana. Her flawless makeup, bold red nails, and short skirt were striking, her smirk even more so. "Mason, who is she?" I asked, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. "Oh, let me introduce you," he said smugly. "This is Diana, my new wife. We're on our honeymoon. And guess what? She's the daughter of a very wealthy businessman." The name hit me like a wave. Diana. The voice from that phone call. The affair I had uncovered. "You're here alone?" "That's sad," Mason sneered. Diana eyed me with disdain. "This is your ex-wife? She looks old." "Hurry up, Mason." He laughed, high, proud, mocking. "I'm set for life now. Marrying into money. You keep struggling in your modest little life. Oh, and by the way, Diana's father runs Goldsmith Enterprises. Ever heard of it?" His arrogance was unbearable, but I stayed composed. "Yes, I know Goldsmith Enterprises. I've been in their building downtown." Mason smirked. "Impressive, huh? Her family even paid off our mortgage. Leaving you was the right move." I let him finish before replying, calm and precise. "That building you're bragging about? It's one of my father's. He bought it for $500 million. Goldsmith Enterprises has been renting it for months, and they've been behind on their payments." Both Mason and Diana froze. Their faces drained of color. Diana forced a laugh. "That can't be true. Our company's thriving." But her eyes betrayed her. I quietly pulled out my phone. "Would you like to see the records?" The once proud couple stared at me, their confidence crumbling in the middle of the glittering hotel lobby. In the hotel lobby, I dialed my father. "I'm here with the daughter of Goldsmith Enterprises. Can you send me a copy of their rent reminder notice?" Within moments, his reply arrived, a clear photo of the overdue notice, showing 4 months of unpaid rent. I turned the screen toward Mason and Diana. "This isn't fake. If you don't pay soon, we'll have no choice but to pursue legal action." "What are you going to do?" I asked evenly. Diana faltered, her confidence slipping. "Come to think of it, Dad has been stressed lately. Talking about slow sales, and firing employees." Her voice trailed off. Mason, however, exploded. "This is a lie. You're trying to trick us, tear us apart. You've always been like this. Still bitter about me remarrying." His voice rose, sharp and ugly, just like the arguments we used to have. But I was no longer the woman who silently absorbed his cruelty. My voice was calm, steady, and cutting. Do you really think I still have feelings for you? Mason, I pity Diana for being caught in your mess. You married her for money, just like you rushed into marrying me for kids. And when children didn't come, you called me useless, infertile, unworthy. You left me. And you still believe I want you back. You must be out of your mind. His face burned red. You arrogant hag. You'll never have kids. Diana and I will have fun making one after this trip. I smiled faintly. Oh? I didn't mention this before, I'm 5 months pregnant. The words hung in the air. Diana gasped. Mason froze, his bravado collapsing. Yes, I continued softly. After the divorce, I met someone who truly loves me. We married quickly, and he's been my greatest support. My father and the company celebrated our union. Unlike you, he treasures me. Mason's mouth worked soundlessly before he managed, pregnant? But, you were using birth control, weren't you? The question was so absurd I almost laughed. No, Mason. I never did. Remember? The clinic found no issues with me. Which means, I let the words sink in. His expression twisted with dawning horror. Then Diana and I can't. His shoulders slumped. Why did I divorce you, for this, he muttered, staring at the floor. What do you mean why? Diana snapped, her face flushed with fury. So it was you all along? You're the reason we can't have kids? I took a breath, finished with their chaos. This is the last thing I'll say, keep your affairs separate from mine. Regarding the rent, if Goldsmith Enterprises wants to stay in that building, pay what you owe. Otherwise, we'll move forward with legal action. Goodbye. I turned and walked away, leaving them mid-argument, their world crumbling. When I returned from the trip, my husband greeted me with a warm smile. Welcome back. Sorry I couldn't help around the house. Was everything okay? I smiled, my heart full. Everything was fine. I'm just glad I had time to relax. He kissed my forehead, his smile genuine, his presence reassuring. With him, my days were filled with comfort and love. Mason had long since faded into the background. Months later, through my father's contacts, I heard the news: Goldsmith Enterprises was collapsing. Their debts ran deep. Reports of massive embezzlement surfaced, and Diana's father had tried, and failed, to cover it up. When the scandal broke, the company's stock plummeted, employees fled, and its credibility vanished overnight. They couldn't pay the rent. They couldn't even save themselves. As for me, I finally felt peace. My future was clear, filled with stability, genuine affection, and the new life I carried within me, far beyond Mason's shadow.